Okay, monkeys. In this tutorial, we will make hair move like a real character. We are going to use Blender to create the hair, then bring it into our Unity project and make it move. So let's go to Blender and delete the cube. Import the model that you're going to use in Unity. I recommend using the same model you're going to use in Unity to avoid any issues in the future. So select the object and go to Add Curves, Add Empty Hair. I'm going to try to separate each hair to get the hairstyle that I want. I'm going to add hair on the top of the head and also on the back, so you could visualize the movement of the hair. You could enable symmetry on the x-axis so you don't have to work double. And I'm going to add hair on the arms, so when the arms move, you could also see the hair move with the arms. Now I'm going to add some hair assets to make it to duplicate the hairs and also clump the hairs together to make the hairstyle that I want. By increasing the radius, you'll see that that's the style that I've been trying to get. I'm going to fast forward this part of the video since we're going to have different hairstyles anyways. And I'm going to create a hairstyle that helps you view the movement of the hair better, especially on the arms. I'm going to add a tail so you could also see the movement of the tail and how it would look if you add one for your model. Let me just try to figure out how to do a tail. I'm going to increase the size of the hair on each arm and legs to visualize the movement of the hair better. And also the hair on the head, I'm going to improve it a little bit. So now that you're finished styling the hair, you could now select the hair, go to object mode, select the hair, and go to file, export, select Alembic, and export it as an Alembic file. I named my model Bender, so I'm going to put Bender hair. And make sure you select the hair, so that in the settings, when you export it, put select only, selection only. I think the rest of the settings are okay. Then you could put export Alembic. Now we could open the Unity project, open Unity and create a URP project, name the project whatever you want, and the Unity version we're going to use Unity 6.2.4, 6.24. Since I haven't tried it with other versions, I want to avoid problems in the future, so I'm just going to use a version that I know works. So now let's put create. So you could see that in the Unity website, they give you a guide on how to use their hair simulation, and we're just gonna follow the steps. I'm just gonna show you how to do it, and if you get lost at any point or something doesn't work for you, you could always go to this website and see maybe something that I missed or something that is unique for your project. So if you go in the bottom or in the middle part from the first section, you'll see the links that we need to the project, the packages that we need to add to our package manager. And I'm just going to open all of these links and then add them one by one. The Alembic files, you don't have to download them from GitHub. You could actually download them directly from the package manager. So I'm going to add the demo hair first. then the Alembic, and then I'll just fast forward the rest. Okay, now that we have that downloaded, let's open a new scene. And I like using this scene. I just have to delete the golden ball. And let's get started. Let's create a folder for Blender. That's the character that I just used for Blender. And one more thing, I did use assets from. I did download the models from Human Melee Animations. So those are the models that I'm going to use for this project. If you want to download those too, I'll leave a link in the description below. And I'll also leave links for the hair simulations as well. So I'm looking for the model that I want for this project. I'm going to use a model that I haven't used before. And that's the model with a hammer and a knife. So I'm going to use that one. And this has everything set, so you could just play animations on it. So now let's create the hair that we created on Unity. Let's import it. But first we have to create a hair asset. Let's create a hair asset. And then in the hair, give it whatever name you want. I'm going to put Blender hair. On the hair asset, click on the Alembic for type. And then it's going to ask you for an Alembic asset. That's the asset that we downloaded from from Blender, and we're going to import it, and then we're going to add it to the Alembic assets. So let's just import the asset, and you'll see that it gives you a similar figure to the one that we created in Blender. Now you could create a hair object. So let's create an empty object and let's name it hair. And then for this object, let's add a hair instance component. Now you could see the hair that we created on the scene. And let's place the hair where it's supposed to go. I'm just going to reset everything. And then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. So let's reset. And then I'm going to place it inside the model. And then I'm going to move the model wherever I want. So the only thing I need to do would be change the angle. So I'm going to place the model right there, and then I'm going to change the angle for the hair. So I'm going to put 90 degrees on the x-axis, and you'll see that the hair is placed where it's supposed to be for the model. Now we could do whatever we want with the hair. So on the hair, you'll see that you'll be able to change the length and the thickness, which is great because you don't have to add too much hair, and by making the hair thicker, it'll look fuller instead of adding more hair, which would increase the performance for any of your Unity projects. So let's give it a try. Let's play. Let's make this model move so you can see how it moves with the hair. And you'll notice that the hair isn't moving with the model, and that's because we're missing a specific part of adding the hair. Right now we just know how to add the hair, but now we have to add we're supposed to add a skin attachment system to the hair and the model, so the hair could follow the movement of the model. You'll see in the Unity website that way in the bottom of the last section, in section 8, there's a section that is called Attach an Alembic Groom with the Skin Attachment System, and this is what it will make the hair move with the model. For some types of hair, such as peach fuzz, beards, and creature fur, the hair system needs to attach to a deforming surface rather than be constrained to a transform, as in the example above. So this is the part where we add a skin attachment system, and this is what it makes the hair move with the model, which is what we're going to do right now. And like I said before, if anything doesn't work for you because maybe I forgot to add it in the video, you could always go into this website and see if it works for you and something that I missed. So let's go back to Unity and let's add another folder. I'm just going to name this hair. Let's place the hair in that folder. Let's create an okay, so now let's create a skin attachment data from the digital human packages that you downloaded earlier. I'm going to name it skin attachment data for Blender. Let's create another folder. Let's name it skin and add the data in there. So now let's select the mesh of your object, and this is where you'll see the skin mesh render. So right there, we're going to add a skin attachment target as a component. It's going to ask you for attached data. So add the data to this component, and you're going to see a warning where it says project has GPU skinning. So just put execute on GPU if possible. Also, for this to work, go to the model for your mesh right here, and you'll see that says read and write. Let's enable that and then click apply. So in order for this to work, and also go to hair and look for settings skinning, and you'll see settings skinning, and it's going to add for roots attachment. You could click on the circle right there and you'll see that there's only going to be one option if this is the first time doing one. Okay, now that we have everything set up, you could click on play, and the hair should move with the model now. And as you can see, the hair is moving with the model. You can see that the tail and the arms and the hair on the legs and the arms are moving with the arms. Every time the arms move and the legs move, you can see that the hair is moving with it. And that's why I added longer hairs to this hairstyle, because I want it to be more obvious. If you go to the hair settings, you could actually modify the hair while it's moving. So you can make it longer, thicker, thinner, really thicker, which now looks like a chicken. And make it longer. Okay, so that's how you add hair. That's how you move hair with the model that you're creating. And in the next tutorial, I'm going to add a color to the hair. I already made this tutorial very long, so it's already long enough. So I'm going to add another video to show you how to add color to this hair, which I think I already made too many videos on how to add color to your hair, but I'm going to do it anyways just to be consistent with the model.